Do. Hey guys, what is up? I'm Max.
I'm Wenji and welcome back to Reacticorns.
Today we're checking out some more true story animations.
Ooh, I like these.
Yeah, these are cute animations that actually happened.
Ooh.
So you know they're gonna be good. Alright, rich parents lost all their money.
Ooh.
Let's go. Can't relate, my parents weren't rich.
Yep, either.
Alright, let's have a look.
Hey there. This is my story of growing up rich and losing it all. When I was a little kid, life was
Unicorn!
Oh, look at that. Look at the maids. Look at the house.
Oh my gosh,
That's
the
the
dream.
life.
Being rich and owning a unicorn floaty. Oh, give it to me. Put it on my face.
easy. We had two maids and they bought me whatever toy I wanted. So I never had to wait for my birthday or Christmas.
Another
I
unicorn.
also went to an expensive school, but I never did any homework because my dad hired a tutor who did all the work for me.
What?
Whoa, that's like next level.
Your dad hired a tutor do the work for you. That's not what a tutor is for, Dad. Don't know if you know. The definition of the word tutor means like someone that teaches you.
To do the work yourself.
Yeah, not that someone that just does the work.
Well, you know what? Even if my parents were rich, there's no way they would let me get away with that.
Heck no. You're gonna end up, raising a dum-dum.
Yeah, okay. I was spoiled. But I was an only child and my parents had the money. So why wouldn't they spend it on me, right?
If I had a kid,
Heck no. They're getting nothing. They're getting a big fat zero. Right?
everyone be like, I don't want to be their kids.
You want a toy?
Work for it.
Buy it yourself. $5 per day of housework. That's your chore
You
money,
gotta earn your keep.
right?
Life skills, you know.
I say no to rich, spoilt, entitled kids.
Well, today, I wish my parents had been stricter. Maybe then I would have been prepared for what happened next.
See?
You see, my dad had made lots of money from his own company. He had built it up from nothing and became a millionaire.
Look at that face. Made him look kind of evil.
Yeah, that's not the face of like a successful businessman. That's the face of like a tyrant.
Yeah.
He's a little drunk on power.
Something went wrong and the government shut his whole company down. We lost everything and had to move out of our beautiful home and into a small apartment.
Oh.
Luckily, we weren't homeless, but still, life became very hard overnight. While my parents were struggling to find jobs, I was struggling with the most basic things like getting myself ready for school. No one was helping me. And when my mom told me to take the school bus, I freaked out and screamed at her that she should drive me to school. But my mom was so
Oh.
stressed that she yelled at me.
Yep. The effects of
That's
being
what happens.
too nice.
You spoil your kid, they start to have all these like expectations. Nuh-uh. You want something, you gotta work for it. You gotta earn it, okay?
Shut up and stop annoying me. I was shocked and even more angry because no one had ever talked to me like that before. After a few weeks, I switched from my private school to a public school. Things were
uh-oh.
very different. The
Uh-oh.
food tasted horrible and most of the teachers couldn't remember my name. I also got some pretty bad grades and instead of helping me, my parents just called me lazy. That's when I realized that I had to learn to depend on myself.
You see the light? See the light is shining on your head.
Even though those were the toughest years of my life.
Oh!
Is that Meowth?
Why did Meowth just suddenly appear?
Well, that's what Meowth does. He suddenly appears.
We
Meowth,
just-
that's right.
Suddenly you just start watching Pokemon? Why did he get hit in the head by a paper ball?
I'm grateful for the experience now.
Look, he's
Luckily,
crying.
things got easier after my dad had a promotion at work. My mom stopped cleaning houses and I got a new tutor. Her name was Isabel, and she always made sure I did my homework.
Oh,
And when I
great.
Very
started
good.
doing my own homework, I discovered that I loved math and that I'm really good at it. You can't imagine how excited I was to show my dad my A-.
A minus? Dude.
I know where this is going.
Dude, clearly not an Asian family. I wouldn't even show my parents. I'd be too scared to show my parents. I'd be like, I'm sorry, I didn't do good.
math exam. He said that he had never been more proud of me and hung it right onto the refrigerator. Recently, I met up with some of my old friends from before, and I realized how spoiled they were. One of them complained how her father refused to buy her a new designer bag, even though she already had so many of them. To me, it seemed ridiculous to complain about something so unimportant and stupid, but maybe I would have been just like her if my parents hadn't lost it all. Now I'm at college studying engineering, while also working at a clothing store 5 days a week to help pay my tuition. I'm always tired, but I don't want to complain because I know that many people have it much, much harder. It sounds strange, but I'm kind of glad my parents went broke. It forced me to work hard, overcome challenges, and appreciate what I have. I'm a
Very
useful
good.
person now, and not just some entitled leech.
Very good.
That was a nice story in the end.
Quite good life lessons.
Just goes to show you gotta appreciate what you have, okay? You're not entitled to anything. You don't deserve anything. Just appreciate, okay?
But also, even if you are rich, doesn't make you automatically a bad person. It's just how your attitude
Yeah,
becomes
that's
from
right.
being rich.
That's right. All right, nice story. Next episode. My dad left our family for another woman.
When I was a little girl, I was always trying to get my dad's attention. I would make drawings of us going on adventures together, and I showed them to him. But he never really took any notice. Sometimes he'd say, "Good job," but I could tell he only said it so I'd be quiet and stop bothering him. But there was one day in the year when we'd do something together. On the 20th of December, he'd take me into the forest to cut a Christmas tree.
Wow, one day a year. Imagine that.
We spent ages picking out the perfect one, and it was always a very special day for me. I treasured those moments with him. But then, one year he came home with a fake plastic Christmas tree, and my heart just broke. Mom sat down with me and told me Dad had a drinking problem, which is why he couldn't spend time with me. But just because you're an alcoholic doesn't mean you can't love your children. He spent more and more time away from home until he eventually stayed away completely. Mom was forced to admit they'd broken up and Dad had moved out.
Oh
I
no.
sent my dad a few texts, but he never responded.
Wait, look at the posters. They're so cute.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
such a sad story, but look at him.
It's a flying nyang.
I want that cat. I want that fat thing.
We were still Facebook friends though, and a month or so later he posted a photo of him and his new girlfriend.
Isn't it odd to be like, to say at least me and my dad are still Facebook friends?
No, it's even odder to find out from Facebook that your dad has a girlfriend.
True.
That he didn't even tell you.
Yep.
That's even weirder.
I wanted to know more about her, so I found her profile.
Oh, the
I mean,
stalking.
she might become my stepmom. That's when I learned she had a daughter the same age as me.
Oh,
I was devastated. It felt like he wanted her to be his daughter instead of me.
oh,
It wasn't all
replacement.
bad. At least Mom seemed happier now Dad wasn't around anymore. They'd screamed at each other every night for years, and it was nice to live in peace. I wish I could see Dad sometimes, though. I missed him so much. I tried to forget about him, but I couldn't. I mean, you can't forget about your dad, right? Although he never tried to get in touch with me, I was constantly
Oh look, did you
checking Facebook
notice? Even the apple was heartbroken.
Oh, I didn't notice.
for information about him, his girlfriend, and her daughter.
Oh, that's like me trying to find information about you when you're overseas via your like Instagram stories and your Snapchat.
Hey, what are you trying to say? Watch my stories on Instagram at Wenji.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
Things seemed pretty boring until December came. Dad put up a video of them going to cut a Christmas tree together.
Oh,
Oh
They seemed so
no.
happy, as if they were meant to be together. And it made me feel like I didn't deserve to be loved, like he loved his new family. I'll never forget that Christmas because my mom had to work at the hospital, which left me alone for most of the time. All I could think about was what Dad would be doing. I'd bought a present for him, but I wanted to give it to him myself, and I didn't know if I'd ever see him again.
that's so
It
weird.
hurt
Yep.
to see my friends posting pictures of Christmas with their families when no one had time for me. Mom came home as early as she could, and we ate Christmas dinner before watching a movie together. It was quiet.
Wet chicks.
Nice. For a long time, I thought there was something wrong with me, and it was my fault my father didn't love me. That's why I always felt completely worthless growing up. Now I understand that the opinions of others, especially someone like my dad, aren't important. I always tried so hard to make him notice me, and he wasn't worth it. I know I'm a good person because I care about others and treat them with respect. That's who I am. And neither my dad nor anyone else can take that away from me.
What a dad. You know what? I feel like he's got some issues. Not just drinking, but like maybe his daughter reminded him of something he didn't want to think about.
Dunno. No one knows. He didn't say anything, kept it all to himself. Very hard to read kind of dude. All right, next one. I dated a famous pop star. Oh, I can relate.
I'm Mariah, and 6 months ago, my aunt paid for me to fly first class from Los Angeles to New York to go to her wedding.
First
Well,
class.
you'll never guess who I sat next to on the plane.
Ooh.
It was... Okay, I can't tell you his name, but he's a very, very famous musician who plays sellout gigs
What?
in huge arenas all the time.
You can't
Ooh.
tell us his name. I want to know.
Yeah, can we guess? Looks like Shawn Mendes.
Sean, yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Let's just call him Vince. When I first saw him, I
Vince.
was totally starstruck, but I knew I had to ask him for a selfie. Otherwise, none of my friends would believe I'd met him. When I went over, Vince was super nice. He gave me a big hug and said, "Hey, how are you?"
Ooh,
We
that
got to
seems
talking,
close.
and I forgot
Yeah.
all about the selfie because
Very
we were
familiar.
getting on so well. When I had to go back to my seat at the end of the flight, he asked for my number and
What?
said we should hang out once we were both back in LA.
That's very forward.
Ooh.
Okay, well, didn't have to work very hard for that one.
Nope.
Of course, as soon as I left the plane, I immediately texted all my friends about meeting Vince and how he wanted to see me again. But none of them believed me without a photo. It was so upsetting.
Ooh, she
My
forgot.
aunt's wedding was really lovely, but all I could think about was Vince. So I
Of
got
course.
home, I texted him and said, "Hey, do you remember me? I'm that awkward girl you met on the plane to New York." I couldn't believe it when he
Oh,
wrote back.
he's typing.
He said, "Of course I remember you. You should come to my concert tonight. I'll put you on the list for a VIP ticket."
Oh,
It was like
snap.
a dream. Vince, a world-famous pop star, wanted to see me again. The concert was great, and I went to the VIP
Oh,
area
backstage.
afterwards.
Check it
He
out.
came straight over to me. We talked for hours. It was like we'd known each other forever. Later, we drove to his house in
Look
Bel
at-
Air, and
what a
that's
mansion.
when things got crazy.
Uh-oh.
He had a private chef cook for us, even though it was really late. The food
Ooh.
tasted amazing, but
Oh.
Vince didn't like it.
Oh.
He threw his plate against the wall and screamed
Oh.
at the chef for at least 10 minutes.
That's the stuff you hear, but you don't think is true.
Yeah, okay, so he's crazy. All right, awesome.
I won't lie, I was shocked. The food was fine, and even if
Bullshit.
it wasn't, Vince way overreacted. I know I should have immediately walked away, but it was so flattering having someone like Vince want to date me. So, I kept singing. It was a crazy time, alright?
Oh,
Vince was
she's
like two
singing
different
to
people.
him.
He could be so sweet and loving, but then something stupid would set him off and he'd fly into a rage.
What?
I'll never
But what happened there? Did she play the wrong note?
Probably.
I'll never forget the time he called me into the stage in the middle of a gig so
Ooh.
he could sing a love song to me.
Oh,
He introduced me to the audience as his girlfriend.
What?
Said how much he loved me. It was so romantic. But after the show was over, he yelled at me because I didn't smile enough during the song. He said he'd written it specially for me. But I found out later he didn't write any of his songs. He had a team of songwriters working for him.
oh,
It was hard to
exposed.
walk away though. He was so attractive, especially when he was on stage with all those girls screaming his name. It's hard to describe, but when everyone wants your boyfriend, you feel like the luckiest girl alive. In the end, he took things too far, and I finally left him. I saw him do things I can't tell you about on YouTube because they're so violent that this video would be demonetized. But I knew I couldn't stay with him because I don't want anyone to treat me like that. If you start dating someone famous, remember they're only humans like anyone else. After all the time I spent with Vince, I can tell you that being a pop star is quite an easy job that doesn't require any discipline or
Hey,
What?
hey.
Being a pop star is an easy job that doesn't require any discipline.
I disagree.
What? Who would say that?
A bitter ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, that's like a weird conclusion to be drawing.
Yeah, pop stars work hard. I know some of them, and
Wow.
they work hard.
How hard do you
In
work?
unicorn onesies.
or superhuman abilities. All you do is get drunk or high and sing songs someone else wrote, then spent more time partying than he did working. I don't regret dating him though, because it was a real experience living the pop star lifestyle. But at the end of the day, just because someone is famous for their love songs doesn't mean they're actually loving. After we split, I saw an interview with him where he was asked about why he's so successful. Can you believe he actually said he's super hardworking and always searching for his next song? That was nothing like the Vince I knew.
And the few weeks we spent together, he was drunk and high most of the time, even on stage. I hope you were able to learn something from my story.
That's very controversial video.
Yeah.
I don't agree with all of that. Maybe some pop stars are like that, but
I don't think every pop star is like that.
Yeah, you can't really say every pop star is like
that. Is like the stereotypical like rock star life that
True.
like people think about. Anyway, all very interesting stories. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those. We'll be back again tomorrow with another episode.
And we'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.
Guys. Love you.